Hello and welcome back to our Variag Hordes campaign. We are assaulting an army of Harad that has besieged our newly conquered settlement of Caranbad. And so we're coming to the relief of that town with a full stack here. We've got lots of horse archers. We do have some of our new spearmen units. Here's the mercenaries on the flanks, but in the center, a couple of units of our elite retainer spearmen. The best defense, I believe, of any infantry unit we can train. So they will be holding. They are backed by some lighter troops. We've got some archers of Khand here for some long range, some mercenary swerdings out front, a few other axemen, and some strike cav as well. But we want to get those horse archers going towards the flanks here. We've got two columns of the just the Variag, or the steppe outriders rather. And I know that this army of Harad does have 2 or 3 solid units of foot archers, as well as I think it's just these 4 units of swords. So we may be hard put to it, and we may take some losses here. We're going to take losses anyway because we don't quite have the cavalry to deal with all of their ranged units. And so we'll need a sort of a combined arms approach here. So they're forming up on both sides. As long as their archers keep moving, we're going to get some good shots in. But we do have to worry about when they stop. We also have to keep our eye on these swords of Harad to make sure that they don't just get some free throws in with the javelins. Let's bring our infantry down a bit. Okay, these guys are marching. We're getting some shots in. Alright, there we go. They starting to throw at us, and just took a couple casualties there. Alright, here's some swords of Harad, so we're gonna rush in. Looks like the army, though, is withdrawing. So fairly anticlimactic battle here, but we will drive them off. Looks like Hardwaith riders are going to end up caught by my archers. Let's see if we can get some kills in on the on them, and maybe hit the Serpent Black even. I wouldn't say no to that if we could take out the enemy general. We did catch him here, so let's see what a swarm of very light horse archers might be able to accomplish. I don't think we're gonna come off too well here. Right, let's get the 8 out. There he goes. We took surprisingly few losses, and so as long as we cut him down here before we get caught by the infantry. There he goes. Alright, let's rush in on those swords of Harad now that they are going to be a lot more vulnerable. And they should melt pretty soon, I suspect. There we go. Okay, so that was not bad. We eliminated an enemy general. We kept our army fairly intact. Only took a single loss of those retainer spearmen. And our infantry line is quite good. We did do a number on our horse archers, so we will have to be careful with them. This was a messy fight, though, as they're withdrawing. I did want to see how much damage I could get done. Looks like a decent amount. So yeah, only 67 survivors. Now there is another family member in there, so the army is going to withdraw somewhere. They're not going to just melt away. But really, we eliminated a lot of them. And we're in a position now to get some reinforcements inside Caranbad. So this was the place where last episode we lost our family member, very unfortunate, to rebellion. I don't know if he showed up on the family tree. Yeah, Lorgan of Habad. So he rose through the ranks of my outriders to eventually come to the attention of our High Chieftain and earn a position of command, but he was not as good a leader as he was a fighter, and was not able to control the unruly populace of Caranbad who rose against him in revolt, and we have to prevent that from happening again. So we're going to send in, let's put a unit of mercenaries in here, and that'll bring that up to a yellow face. We may also be able to get more mercenaries in the area, but we do have reinforcements coming here from our nobleman Gandor, and so that's very good. This is our heir, by the way, Banda. Let's pop up here. No mercenaries here yet, but we'll stand here on enemy territory because I think he should be well supplied. Yep, so supply is not a problem. We'll stand here and maybe call out one of these larger stacks toward us, and then move towards and if we can grab that, then I'm going to call it a win. See if we need to do any building first. We are training here, and we do have a reinforcing army just gathering here in case we need it, in case disaster strikes, and maybe to strike against this army after they take back Akas Anabon. But we're doing all the retraining we can do. Income's looking good at over 4,000. So let's see, caravan camp here would actually give us quite a lot of income. So I'm thinking about going in this direction. So like 130 or so. We are going to pick up a bit of mismanagement. That's going to be canceled out by the extra income from the administration. The big hit, though, is going to be to our land tax because this does have an upkeep. But even that's not too bad. So we're still going to be making over 100 in profit per turn from that. All right, let's end the turn then. No attacks from Harad, and it looks like they were driven off their siege of the rebel settlement of Akas Anabon, or maybe they withdrew to turn to face our armies. So we've got a candidate for adoption here, and I'm thinking about taking him. He's inept, but at least he's youthful. He is a man of the steppes, so he's going to get some extra movement points, which is very nice, and given the long distances we have to deal with here. He is energetic. That's going to give him some better hit points. And so he's going to be a better commander than governor. We'll take him. And our king has departed in Uldor of Umbar. So that's unfortunate. At least he was able to queue up a building before he died. And so now we have a new king, and this would be Banda. So this is a good time for him to get promoted here. That's going to increase his the size of his bodyguard, and that's just nice. So we've got our faction leader out in the wilderness. Okay, got some more units trained, and we've got our Outland Dominion finished in Habad. So our income now is about what it was. As we get more units trained, of course, we're going to be losing income to those upkeep costs. Let's see here. So we're going to have to destroy the Homeland Dominion, and so let's go ahead and do that. Now that we've got enough garrison in here, we can afford to do that and start on provincial pacification. That'll just help a bit with public order in the area. We do have quite a few agents inside here. I'm going to put one of them along with the king's army. He will... I'll put a younger looking one here. The king will get some bonuses to resisting assassination, as he is the high chieftain. He gets a +3 versus assassination attempts, but Harad may have another place where they are producing assassins, so it's probably good to just to be safe. Now it looks like Harad has taken the province of Las Laden from Far Harad, so they are making some gains in the east, but they still have not expanded into some of these settlements. So we are definitely putting the squeeze on them. Looks like they don't want to fight over Adabara, so let's go ahead and queue this up also. We've definitely got the funds for it, and we can send our armies into the north. Now, before we start putting places under siege and going too far, I think what we may want to do is consolidate some of these armies, because we've got some pretty small unit sizes here. So let's see. Do I want to fight anything? I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to fight. Let's you know what? Let's go here. We'll park this army right outside of just as a kind of a provocation, on the site of a battlefield that we won a heroic victory way back when Fand the Hunter sacked years ago. It has now entered the lore and songs of our people, so we're going to set up on that battleground. This army, I think I want to move into the north as well, and we'll gradually get these armies together so that they can reinforce one another. And I think we'll be all set in terms of Adabara. I think Harad is now a little bit concerned that we're in its territory. Now, do we want to do anything with this army? We do have a rebel stack here, but I'm thinking about just ignoring that. All right, we'll just keep going. Did get another unit of retainer spearmen, so we've got 2 of those. Let's go for 6 units of horse archers. And in Umbar City, let's go with... let's see, I think we want something a little different. Maybe another unit of Variag Riders. That's going to be bringing down our income to just over 504. So I think we'll call that good. Although Athendad, all right, this is where our adoptee came of age. So what do we want to do with him? Well, I think it makes sense to put him with this army. So we'll send him over in this direction. And then we'll start to move these guys east. And so I think that's the end of the turn. All right, we're attacked. Very good. So we're on their territory. Now, this is nice. So this is a defensive version of what we've done so many times in the past, where the garrison of the city is showing up as reinforcements, and if we eliminate it, and we do stand a good chance of that because these Serpent Black are fairly slow. As long as they get close enough to the fight, I think we can do this. Let's see what the main stack is, though. 3 Swords of Harad, 1 Spearman of the Serpent, a couple units of cavalry, but the rest, I'm really not worried about this. So I think let's jump right in. We've got enough horse archers here that we can surround them and still do damage, even though some of our units are pretty depleted. Here we go. Big unit of Dragon Guard. 43 men per unit. It's a frightening cataphract style cav. And so when you get large unit sizes like that for your faction leader and your factionaire, that's where this unit really starts to shine, I feel. All right, so we'll put them over there. And we'll get all the horse archers together, I guess. Although, you know, these small units, I think we'll just keep them back. And it's the other ones that we will really focus on. We want to keep a good handle on those guys. And with our infantry, yeah, this looks pretty reasonable. Again, I think I want the retainer spearmen to occupy the center. We'll have some Variag axemen on the right, and we'll have the Variag warriors on the right as well, but a little further back. Skirmishers here, and I think I want archers out front. They can be a little bit of bait for the AI cavalry because they're going to have an advantage in that. So the enemy is going to be right here. They're attacking us. So that means they don't really get a choice of exactly where they're going to deploy. Or you do if you're the attacker. You can decide where you're deploying. But the AI will basically always, when it's the attacker, be right behind this point. So they shouldn't necessarily be found over here, which means I can position my men right on this edge of the battlefield. And we should be able to steal the high ground from them. So that's what I plan to do. Yeah. It is important that we get up there, although it is going to tire us out. But they may not be too eager to get to us if I keep my archers kind of out of range. But it looks like they are coming over here. So there's the reinforcements now. We'll see if they come over towards us. They may not. Yeah, we're close enough to shoot them now. And so that means they're probably going to approach us. Yep. Okay. Alright, so let's kill these Horsemen of the Harnin. That was a bad charge on our part. But we've got the weight of numbers here. They're wavering already. Here comes Swords of Harad. Alright, let's turn the infantry quick. And then we gotta back up. And don't forget your other horse archers. Actually, maybe keeping them down there is okay. Looks like the AI reinforcements are coming. Right, I'm gonna send these guys a little bit back. Right, we dealt with one of their cavalry units. They got 2 more. Horsemen of the Harnin. It looks like their general unit is plainsman mounted skirmishers, which could be kind of a problem because they're very fast. And we will need to catch them if we want to take the settlement. Assuming that's a possibility. And we're not paying attention here, so we're going to get charged by Swords of Harad. Let's rush in. And I'm going to bring the horse archers around to that side. Are they coming? All right, we won handily over here. Is he withdrawing? I'm going to have to bring my strike cavalry back, I think, to help with this fight, potentially. So you know what? Let's do that. Archers are routing now. They may come back. So we're going to hit them right in the middle. Swords of Harad should get a nice charge here. Footmen should break pretty fast. Shaken. Maybe not. Alright, those guys broke, and that's going to help. Alright, I'm not really paying too much attention here. Let's hit them. Okay, here come the reinforcements. And we need to be thinking about that. Alright, so all these guys are now routing. Get my general up there and get the horse archers over here off skirmish. And okay, we're chasing down those archers who did come back, or those are plainsmen skirmishers rather. We should take care of this unit pretty easily. And they're running away. Okay, so we're not going to get the town.
The warlord of the enemy army is running.
They're just too close to the edge of the map. Yeah, they're already off. Alright. Well, hit these desert skirmishers in the back. If we can, they may get off the map before then.
The enemy army runs. Now hunt them down.
Alright. Honestly, though, yeah, let's just end it. So we did pretty well. We, of course, eliminated the larger of those 2 armies. But there's going to be a family member and some skirmishers inside Ur.
We shall rule.
We get some reinforcements to this army, though. We should be in a good position to take it soon. But there is this large stack down here I'm seeing. Right here. Tanari of South Harandor. Okay. What's his army again? A lot of low-tier stuff. You know, there are 4 units of swords here, a couple units of their very light cav. No archers, so that's always good. Well, and in the Shire are allied, alright. We got our forces assembled in the Umbar region, and this is the last of those units I'm going to worry about. So we'll get these guys over. Do have some mercenaries we could pick up, and I think I will next turn. So let's see. I want something else here. Let's just go for another cav unit. We've got a pretty good presence of spears. We got 2 of those spear units. We're going to get some more spear infantry and skirmisher infantry on the way. Let's just keep going with the cav. All right. So this army looks like it is pointed down to Adabara, but I'm not confident that they're going to necessarily try to take that. They may take Caranbad, or they may circle back to hit me in if I put that under siege. So what I'm thinking of doing is using the better of my 2 generals here. And that would be the ruler. And maybe have him come down here and hit this army, or at least threaten it. Block while I send the weaker army north to put under siege. So let's see what other forces are in the area that could potentially cause us problems. I'm not seeing anything up around Harandor, which is great news. So they got nothing around here anyway. Not seeing big garrisons in their settlements either, so I'm thinking they brought most of their armies down into the south to deal with me, although they did take South Athelion. Wow, okay. Good for them. And they've got minus Ithil under siege, I would say. Are they still at war with Harandor? Yeah, they are. So as soon as this falls, Harandor is probably going to get kicked out of minus Honor, and that would be the end of them. Well, I think we can be wrapped up by then at any rate. And we've got reinforcements all around here, so let's see. So for this army, we can combine these 2. Alright, let's grab a unit of Southron spears and grab another unit of Southron skirmishers. We've got room for 2 more units. So let's go with these. And we'll get rid of this cav unit. Let's see, we could combine a couple of these. I know it's not ideal, but we're just so far from our supply lines, so sending these tiny units back in dribs and drabs to Umbar does not seem really reasonable. So we got room for 3 more. Let's go with 3 horse archers, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that'd give us a nice 8. We'll go there. Meanwhile, this army is going to go right up here and here. We'll put under siege. We'll build a couple of rams, and we should be in a good position to take it, because in here there's not very much. Maybe there's another unit of swords in there by now, but I think we can take it with what we have here. This is a fairly weak stack, actually, but we've got a bodyguard, we've got a unit of horse archers, we've got Southron skirmishers, you know, some footmen, and we do have some axes, so that may work. Let's go over to here. And let's see. Let's attack. Alright, so no surprises. Jump right in. Alright, so we've got basically the same force we've been using in the past couple of battles. And we want to change up this formation. We did take some losses with those retainer spears in the last battle, but that's to be expected. Alright, they don't have any archers, so let's do our usual front line of skirmishers and cav back here. Here's our mounted archers right there. And this is going to be fairly straightforward. I've got the high ground here, so I think they're going to be pretty much straight in front of us. already shooting them with almost all of these cav. I got some swords, so we'll just sort of divide them up here, so to speak, while our own archers get into position and start shooting downhill. Oh, we got a brave family member. Let's send our cav down to deal with that. And they're not going to stick around. Maybe they will. No, they're going to die under javelin fire and withdraw. So let's do the same. And they're going to turn around and come back just as soon as we're out of range. That's what kiting is all about. So I guess I shouldn't be too mad if they do it just like I do. Alright, there are some archers here. I don't know how I missed those. But let's go over here, get these off skirmish, and run down into these swords so we don't just stand here and eat a bunch of javelins. Yeah, let's hit him again. Or try to, at any rate. I think we're going to catch him this time. He's definitely charging into my skirmishers, and this should be a good charge. Oh, yeah. Well, some of our cav went for those footmen.
Shows his worth. Nothing. Any of our warriors would die rather than run.
Oh, wow. We caught him. Awesome. Okay, let's hit the footmen now, and the rest of these guys... Oh, that's right. I took them off skirmish, so now they're standing around to get killed by swords. All right. Are deciding to retreat. Let's stop chasing so we don't take too many friendly fire losses. Oh, come on. What did we lose there? We did lose about 30 or so from this one unit of Swords of Harad. But I mean, considering that they're facing these really powerful javelins, they're doing quite well. Here they are doing their lame, you know, second throw in the middle of melee, but the warriors are coming down. Gonna hit them in the flanks. That should be the end of this unit. It should. Anytime. We killed a general. There they go. Right over here, some Swords of Harad are stubbornly holding on. Again, I just hate this unit. In Wayne Riders, which is the mod that I've been working on, along with other team members for the 4th Age Total War, we got a lot of help on this. We don't have Swords of Harad anymore. They're no longer a unit. I guess, you know, on some level it's just for variety, but on another level, I think subconsciously I never liked them. They're just so annoying to deal with. So actually what we did instead is we put them on horses. So we've got Swords of Harad on horses, which actually should make them more manageable. And I don't think the AI is going to be as likely to train whole stacks of this unit on horseback. You know, we'll see. But yeah, no more Swords of Harad in Wayne Riders if you've been following that project at all. Yeah, we'll just we'll go ahead and end this here. Lost a couple hundred men. So that secures our sort of our frontier zone, at least from that army, because otherwise we would have had to keep rushing back. They would have put someplace under siege. So it's nice to get that out of the way. All right, he got a mercenary-related ancillary. And we got rid of that entire stack, so here we go. That's why it's good that we're bringing the reinforcements in, though. Because we are running low on troops. So let's see what the AI does here. We do have a settlement under siege. And, yeah, I don't think we can deal with this. They had a stack that was probably just outside the fog of war to the east. So I'm going to withdraw from this, actually. Because just looking at it, we've got an extremely light force. This would be okay in terms of assaulting whatever was in here. Yeah, this was basically nothing. But this army, a bunch of swords, very dangerous heavy cav. So we're going to withdraw. And thankfully they're not going to have enough movement points to take us on again. And we'll bring up the main army here. A suitable husband. All right, I think I'll take it. Yeah, another energetic guy. He's overbold, which sounds maybe good, but it's not. -1 to hit points. But he's energetic. That kind of balances it out. He's a poor commander, so that's better than being inept or bad, I guess. So he's coming of age in our capital here, which is nice. We'll pick up another strong unit on the way. And we do have these Variag riders to join with us. And there we go. So who's the actual general here? Inept commander. So I may want to shuffle some things around so the poor commander is actually leading. That's where those titles come in handy, by the way. The titles for things like War Chief. This, again, it adds +2 to command, but that's not on the battlefield command. That's like rank, military rank. So if looking at this unit, who wins? Well, it's the heir, because he's got higher rank. He's not a better commander. He doesn't really have 8 stars of command or whatever if you were looking at it on the battlefield. This is just telling you that he's the most high-ranking guy in this stack. But if I were to give someone else an ancillary that gives him more command than the other guy had, then he would be he would not be leading anymore. So that's what those titles are for. All right, some new court members. We're definitely expanding our family. And again, this is why I'm feeling it's a good time to wrap the run up, because we are just getting we're getting a lot of stuff. We're getting a good income. We're getting things built. Speaking of which, we'll queue up our Outland Dominion in both of these settlements because I feel like we can afford it. And now they've consolidated these armies, so it looks like it might be one final clash before the walls of Ur. And that might be where we end the run, folks. So I think we'll leave that for the next episode. Thank you very much for joining me on this, and I hope you'll check me out on what may be the final episode of our Variag Hordes campaign. Until then, take care.